governor, the senator, the school board, the state itself has put a price on these little children's head. It does not happen nowhere else in America what's going on there with these children. Who gains from mountaintop removal? Well, you know, everybody, you know, that, you know, it is the only meal ticket in town, and we as environmentalists and just plain good citizens understand that. No, you can't not shut it down tomorrow, but we need to make the steps to improve ourselves. People got that work, and we know that. But what people need to know about the Appalachian people, we are educated people now. We do have landlines, we do have communication, we do have computer skills. Our children have education now, and we just need people to come into our area and offer new jobs. And we can certainly go to renewables. We have a project there on the Coal River Mountain Watch called the Windmill Project. We found out that that mountain there has just as much wind there as on the West Coast does. And we have people ready to put windmills up to make sense to the land company and the coal company that you don't have a dime in this and you will profit from it, plus have renewables there for generations to come. This is what it's all about, considering, you know, building a good future for our children. Earlier this month, former Vice President Al Gore presented the film Mountaintop Removal with the Real Current Award at the Nashville Film Festival. Each year, Gore chooses the award for a documentary that provides extraordinary insight into a contemporary global issue. At the awards ceremony, Al Gore paid tribute to Ed Wiley's activism and connected it to the broader effort to fight global warming.
I was telling Ed that his campaign to get a new school and to get one because of the terrible impact of this mountaintop removal on the existing school and on the community is really part and parcel of the same kind of struggle that I and many others have been involved in to try to get solutions to the climate crisis. It's the same fight, really. Because today, all around the world, we will collectively put another 70 million tons of CO2 into the Earth's atmosphere. And the majority of it comes from burning coal without any thought to the consequences for future generations or for any thought to the consequences for us now. That was former Vice President Al Gore, the Nobel Peace Prize winner. Ed Wiley, what does it mean to have this kind of recognition? How does it help you in your struggle against mountaintop removal? It was a great honor. The movie speaks for itself, most certainly. They've done a really good job on that. And for Mr. Gore to recognize our efforts was a real pat on the back and a real boost of encouragement. You know, we've done a lot of work trying to help these kids, and it seems like nowhere we turn, we run into a brick wall one way or another, and it's usually over the money issue. And for Mr. Gore to recognize our efforts and our cause is very special. I thank him and the film festival and the people that made the film. It was a boost that we really needed. Sometimes you feel down on your work, especially after 4 years trying to save little kids' life, and then realize that it's more than that. It's the nation's little children's. And what people need to understand out there is, you know, this is happening to our children now. This is happening to our land now, in our backyards. But for the nation and as Appalachian Mountains as a whole, the nation needs to understand we are the sponge of the water. We soak in the water, we filter the water, and it discharges the water. The Appalachian Mountains should be recognized as a national monument just for that reason alone. And there's many, many other reasons there why it should be a national monument. So for Al Gore to recognize our cause for our children and for our land and how important it is to preserve our land and not destroy it in a way that we are going to destroy ourselves. Ed Wiley, you are a 10th generation Appalachian. What brings you to New York?
The children. We come here for the film festival. They did host it at the Lincoln Center. We had to be there for that. And I thought, well, I'm stuck here for a week. I might as well go back and see the children that's been involved. The children that originally come up with the pennies 3.5 years ago. I'll be speaking with them in their school today at 10 o'clock. They have gotten 4 schools together. We just picked up 2 more schools here in Manhattan, and we'll be visiting them. Some of the children has been down our area. We come originally for the film screening, but I also made presentations around the town in different environmental groups, and just doing the work while we're here for the solid week, and saying thank you to the children, and keep on educating and getting support.
Ed Wiley, why does the Bush administration support mountaintop removal?
Well, you know, I'm not very a political person, and I don't know all the facts and all that. It's basically, the way I look at it is, it's all a big monopoly game. You know, we have boys overseas right now losing their lives over oil, and we have Appalachians right now losing their lives over coal mining, and it's not over, it's getting worse. You know, you talk about our generations. Last year, my grandmother just passed away. She was 91 years old. And her mother before that lived in her 90s, and her mother before that was in her 80s. What I'm seeing going on in our valley today is people my age, I'm 50 years old and down, are dying with cancers. We are used to the coal being dug out of the mountains and the slate distracted from it. Then it was put on trains and hauled out. When they come up with this clean coal technology, they're getting heavy metals from the coal. They're just not distracting the clay. They're distracting heavy metals such as lead, arsenic, manganese, aluminum. The list goes on, and they have to have a place to store this stuff. So basically, they're damming up the front of these mountain haulers, and you're using the slate, which is a weak material, and they're putting the toxic waste there. Other ways they have to
Ed Wiley, we're going to have to leave it there, but I thank you very much for joining us, and we will continue to follow the issue of mountaintop removal. That does it for our broadcast. We are broadcasting from SPNN St. Paul Neighborhood Network. Wonderful to work with public access here in St. Paul. The national meeting on media reform will take place in June. We'll be here then, and then, of course, covering the Republican convention. I'll be in Phoenix today at 1:30 at Changing Hands Bookstore, and then in Fresno tonight. I'm Amy Goodman. Check our website, democracynow.org.